is Inside Out.
Inside Out is presented by HTC, here to connect. And Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.
Friends, welcome to February's Inside Out. And February is always about love here on this show, and all of our topics revolve around that. We begin with someone who loved to cook so much that he opened a restaurant for all of his friends to come and enjoy, and boy, is it good. So how about a great place in Myrtle Beach to take your Valentine this month out to breakfast or lunch? You won't need dinner. They're closed at dinner, but you know what? After you eat lunch at Andy's, you're not even hungry. Big portions. How long you been at this?
Thanks, Diane. Last month we were here 12 years.
Amazing already.
And so I was started at the Aloha Motel, 74th Avenue on Ocean Boulevard. Miss Farr and her family owned it. And I started leasing a little lunch counter there in 1995. We moved here 12 years ago, and everything's been great.
Give everyone the location.
5211 North Kings Highway. We're in the Pine Lake section of Myrtle Beach, diagonally across from the firehouse. And
you're in a strip mall, and it's a perfect place for you to be because you are packed every day with locals. Yes, we are. It's hard to get any more local than Andy's Snack Shack. Often there will be days where I know everyone in the restaurant. We welcome visitors, and thanks to Google, we have been getting more and more. All of your food is spectacular, but a lot of people might not realize it, but you really have a great specialty in seafood. Yes, we do. We get all of our seafood out of Newbern, North Carolina. We do fresh grilled fish every day. Tuna, wahoo, grouper, mahi, salmon. We do fresh scallops often, depending on the price. Sure. But we do fresh seafood every day. We do specials every day. Chicken bog's a big special around here. When we come in and there's chicken bog on your menu, almost half the place has got it. Right. We do chicken bog every Thursday, but that's a very popular dish. It's also very popular for our catering. We cook a lot of chicken bog here. We'll talk about catering in a moment, but I don't want to miss these specials here because everyone loves your fried chicken. Right. This is obviously a Southern staple, fried chicken, mac and cheese, and field peas. That was our special today at lunch. We also have homemade vegetable beef soup. Everything we do is homemade. This is homemade vegetable beef soup, which is a very hearty winter soup. And then for folks maybe trying to watch what they eat this time of the year, starting the diets and being on a diet, today we had grilled shrimp on a Caesar salad. You can also get that with grilled scallops, grilled tuna, or grilled chicken. I've never had your salads. I usually come in and get something far more fattening, but this is a good idea for the next couple of months. Yes, we think so. When you want to downsize. Yes, exactly. We think so. You know, the church and the gym's full this time of the year, and everyone's on a diet. So that's what we're doing. So, Andy, let's talk about your catering because you've been everywhere. I mean, just for the holidays, how many catering jobs did you have? I don't even know. You're exhausted. Yes, I'm exhausted. We do everything from office get-togethers to wedding receptions, family reunions. But we took a break during Christmas, from Christmas to New Year's this year, and we were ready. Well, I know that you do a lot of on-site action with serving it, et cetera, but I also know that I've been at some parties, house parties, where you just come and drop the food off and leave. Right. For smaller events, we like to have at least 50 people for us to stay, set up, and serve. We like to have at least 50 people. But for smaller events, you can call us. We'll come up with a menu. You can pick it up, or we'll deliver, just drop it off and leave it with you. Well, I can't go without tasting the soup since it's soup season. Do you serve soup all year long? No, we usually serve soup from October and November through spring. It's kind of a colder weather dish for us. Delicious. Thank you. I have one guy that wears three hats. His name is Brian Edmondson. He's our general manager. He's our executive chef,
and he's their social media expert.
Whoa!
And so Brian made the soup, so we try to keep him busy. He stays out of trouble if we do that.
And Brian's the same guy that whipped up this delicious
salad.
Yes,
he is. Brian made the salad, and made most of the fried chicken and the mac and cheese.
What's been the most rewarding part of this business?
You know, I think without a doubt, the relationships that we've built, the friendships we've made. I mean, life's about meaningful relationships. It is for me. And we've made a lot of good friends, community activities that we've become a part of that we really enjoy that are rewarding to us.
What's your hours?
So, Diane, we're here Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m., breakfast and lunch. We're closed on Sunday and Monday.
Good for you. Andy is quite the famous chef in town. He might not be open at night, but he's our own Wolfgang Puck.
Well, thank you, Diane, and you are our own Barbara Walters.
That gives me chills, and what an incredible honor that would be. She's paid a lot more money than me.
So is Wolfgang.
All right, Andy, thanks a bunch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautifying our community. Don't miss Seed Slingers of Gallivan's Ferry, coming up next.
From Merle's Inlet to Marion, from the golf courses to the area's gorgeous beaches, HTC is here to connect you with the largest fiber optic network in the area. We are here to help our communities, here to help you benefit as a member of our local cooperative, and here to empower the moments that are important in your life. We're HTC, and we're here to connect you to your world.
It all happens right here on the stage of the beautiful new First Presbyterian Church in Myrtle Beach.
This year we feature the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players, virtuoso violinist Subain Lee, Polish-American soprano Magdalena Kuzba, the award-winning Ukrainian pianist Dmitry Choni.
Season tickets starting at $75, now available at First Presbyterian Church of Myrtle Beach.
This segment of Inside Out is brought to you by Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.
Welcome to Rains, South Carolina in Marion County, but we're interviewing a business that makes their home in Gallivan's Ferry in Horry County. I want you to meet Lee Shaw. He is with Seed Slingers, and they've been around these parts for what, about 12 years now? 15 years?
Right at 15 years now.
You've been with them for 12 years.
Yes, ma'am. I've been with them for 12 years.
What do you do here at Seed Slingers?
Well, we grow sod, we harvest sod, we install sod, we do erosion control, landscaping, irrigation, clearing and grubbing for various jobs around the state for DOT and private companies. And most of the time we do subcontracting, but we're getting into the prime contracting area now a little bit.
You told me that in your entire career, this is one of the greatest group of people you have ever worked for.
Yes, the Skipper and the Johnson family, Wally and Danielle, they're married, and Sam and Kelly Johnson, they're the owners. Good Christian, family-oriented company. Probably over the years that I've been working now, one of the best companies I've ever worked for, if not the best, just great people.
We're out here on a sod farm, and we're actually behind the old Rain Centenary School,
Yes,
and that
ma'am.
you all have taken over.
Yes, ma'am. The company bought it. I'm not exactly sure how many years ago, but it's been a few years ago they bought it, and they've been doing some renovation. They put a lot of work into it, and they're gradually working on renovating the whole thing.
Let's talk about sod in general. What type of sod do you actually specialize in here?
Centipede, Bermuda. We're moving into other areas. We're trying to get together some fields, get them planted, and get them established in some other types of grass, but mainly the centipede and Bermuda.
Do you work with homeowners at all, even though I know you're usually working with the big guys?
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes we do work with the homeowners. very little. Most of our work is commercial, but sometimes one or two will pop up here and there, and we'll help them out. And anyone that needs sod, if they'll call us and tell us how much they want, we'll cut it and get it to them, or they can come pick it up however they want it.
Now, how about schools? I would think that would be pretty lucrative for you guys.
Yes, ma'am. We've done several schools around Horry County, River Oaks Elementary. We've done Sockers T Middle School. We've done some Walmarts in the area, and we've done a couple around the state of South Carolina.
What's your busiest season, Lee?
Definitely spring, summer, and fall. That's when we do a lot of the hydro seeding. We've gotten into doing it year-round. Now, we switched from doing permanent seeding during the spring and summer months. During the fall and the winter, we'll do temporary seeding. And it depends on what the seed plan calls for, the DOT file. It depends on who we're working for, what the company is that we're working for requires. So we strive to meet their needs and exceed their expectations.
So what's new for the new year for this business?
Well, we're moving into the clearing and grubbing a lot more. And that's just taking the trees, getting them out of the way, and then getting up the stumps, or either making it level where there's nothing showing, and then we come back and seed over it.
For anyone who's laying sod over the next couple of months, I know you've got some good advice, because it's all about water, right?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Water, water, water. I recommend getting a soil sample to see what kind of nutrients you need to add to it, if any. And once you do that, add what nutrients you need to add to it, and pour the water to it until it's established.
Lee, finally, the name Seed Slingers. You have sod, you deliver it, or people can come get it. I see it in squares.
Yes, ma'am.
But I was thinking maybe you seeded as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the name, or sling as well.
Well,
kind of educate me.
As you can see behind me, we have one of our big hydro seeders, and that's part of where the seed slinging name comes from. The first part is that we're a Christian-oriented company, so we want to sow the seeds of Christ and try to lead people to Christ. And the other part is that we sling the seeds out of these trucks. We mix a slurry, which consists of different types of mulch, depending on the situation, depending on the landscape. And we had the fertilizer, mulch, the lime, the seed, different types of seed, and we sling that seed.
You got it. It's Seed Slingers right here in Marion County with the Rains Sod Farm,
yes.
And Horry County's the home office in Gallivan's Ferry.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Lee.
Thank you.
You can help Waccamaw High School students participate in a life-changing event and learn all about Marion County and its economic growth. Coming up next. Mama loves magnolias, and you will too. It's where the Anderson family farm comes to the table. There's an all-you-can-eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, Saturday and Sunday brunch buffet, salad bar, homemade desserts, all served by our staff. Mama's right. You can't cook it this cheap. Ooh. And that ice cream machine guaranteed to produce smiles. Banquet space available too. Magnolias for good old Southern comfort food and hospitality at its finest. 26th Avenue North and Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach. Welcome to Pawleys Island. We're at the Waccamaw High School, where we have a big announcement for you, compliments of Sylvia Plyler. She heads up the choral programs, and I have been in her presence with the kids. She adores these kids, but most of all, they adore her. And you all, you all are going to Hawaii.
Yes. The Waccamaw Concert Choir was selected by the Pearl Harbor Selection Committee to represent the state of South Carolina, basically as ambassadors of this state to the 82nd anniversary of Pearl Harbor in Hawaii next December. That's December of 2023. So we are working very hard to take at least 40 students. Right now the numbers are growing and can continue to grow into the spring. But we started with a goal of 40 students on board, and we want to make sure that every single student is on that plane.
I'm sure, Sylvia, as in most cases, many of these students can afford it, but then there are many who can't. But you told me that you told the students we're on a level playing field.
That's right. You know, obviously, in any school, in any situation, you have some families that can perhaps easily write a check for what is needed, and then some who maybe they can do partial, and frankly, we've done this every year. Every trip we make, we aim to get every student on board, because it's a classroom, it's an ensemble, and we are a team. So those students who might struggle with the pricing, we say we're all working together to get everyone there, because it will change their lives.
I know that you've been raising a lot of money already. How much is needed, and what are some of the things you've done already? Because the students are working hard.
Right. Well, we started out with a goal of $120,000, which is in the brochure, to kind of put a price out there, which it would cost to send 40 students. And from the very beginning, we've been doing everything from selling items to performing. We'll continue to do that. We have fundraisers planned all the way into the spring. I know that Pawleys Island Festival of Music and Arts has been busy trying to help us and put that out there. But they are seriously busy working for one another.
It's also interesting to me that you said the students are working hard, parents are working hard, teachers are working hard, but the community has come forth in record numbers.
For sure. We already have some who have chosen to sponsor a child, and if you break it down, it tells you this in the brochure. Our best projection at this point is it'll run about $3,500 to send a student. And so we already have 2 or 3 that have chosen to sponsor, and we hope that more will come forward, as well as business sponsorships. And, and of course the students, they're writing letters, asking people they know, that person at their church, or a business person that they know, people who love them personally, to say, hey, this is something that means a lot to me, will you sponsor?
What will your performance be like when you get there?
Well, we've already started creating our Hawaii book. We don't have it all together yet, but we have certain repertoire that we're looking at. It'll be about a 30-minute concert beside the USS Arizona on a stage, but we will also be singing with students, choirs around the country to open for the ceremony. So it'll be the opening ceremony, I believe, of singing God Bless America.
What's been the most surprising thing to you in this whole endeavor?
Well, of course, with it being such a historic moment for students and them experience the history of our country and honoring those who have given so much for us, the way our community has come forward and given so many opportunities. For example, Lakes at Litchfield did a presentation recently where they are trying to hire students, giving them an opportunity for good, sound work and professional experience. So those things to me, for long term, is more exciting than anything, to see our community stepping forward for these children.
Well, I hope that you've been moved as much as I have with Sylvia here, and we want to help every one of these kids get to Pearl Harbor and Hawaii. And so give Sylvia a call, let her know how you can help. It doesn't matter if you can't sponsor a student for $3,500, $25, $50, $100, anything will help. Sylvia will be grateful. Aloha, my friend.
Aloha, Diane.
We're in Marion today, and we're talking about economic development with a man who's heading it all up. And this is Zach McKay. And Zach, you told me that you were kind of raised in Florence, but this is pretty much where you're hanging out now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This has been home here for the last, year and a quarter now. It's been great. They've embraced me. Thank you to the chamber and Cindy in the room. But it's been awesome. This is home, and I guess now finally have been involved long enough to get my feet wet in economic development, and it's been a fun ride.
Well, over the years, both Marion and Mullins have been considered the beautiful part of the PD area, and so you're really working for two jewels.
Absolutely. It's awesome to work with. Both of them are great areas, and now we are seeing some revitalization as well. Just looking right down the road at the Blumenthal building. It was a big plant, employed hundreds of folks here in Marion. It shut down, and now we're seeing Maxwood Furniture actually renovate that, and it's awesome to see. That's a huge building that now it has been an eyesore, and now it's a beautiful building.
Let's talk a little bit too about what people are looking for when you're out recruiting industry. What do they ask you about this community?
Well, first thing is always workforce. They want to know what our workforce is, what our labor market is, and which way we're going. If we have the program set up to succeed and to sustain these industries down the road, or if we don't, they know that they won't be coming here. Site selection is a very data-driven game, essentially. They're looking for sites that meet their requirements, but more so they need to know that if they locate there, what that workforce is. But also residential housing is an issue. If you can't house 500 families, but this is going to be a job that's bringing in 500 families, they're not going to locate there either. Thankfully, again, that the county, as well as the school district, school board as well, has all been on board, been a great asset, and we've worked together as a great team.
Speaking of working together, I understand Marion and Mullins are working better together than ever before, and it's great to see teamwork like that.
It is. It's awesome. And we've got an event coming actually in September, now that I think about it. It's going to be a clay shoot. We're working with the chambers. It's going to be us. Amazing Grace Park is going to get involved. And again, hopefully it'll be just a fun event, but to build that teamwork and make sure that we're all kind of focused in and again, really showing that unity more or less.
What about infrastructure? Do you ever have industries that you're recruiting want to know about interstates and, you know, how they get in and out of here?
Absolutely, which is, I think was, and the folks in Myrtle Beach might not agree with me here, but I think that was what really hurt us with I-73 not making the budget this year. They want interstate access. That is a key driver. We're seeing a lot more rail, and luckily we do have a good relationship with CSX as well as RJ Corman, so that we do, if we get an industry in that's coming, we've been able to reach out and say, hey guys, this person needs a rail spur. Can this be done? And they'll work with us on even reaching out to the federal government, see what kind of grant money is available for that.
So during your tenure, Zach, what has been the most exciting industry uplift, so to speak?
So we've had, I know I alluded to the Blumenthal building with Maxwood Furniture earlier, but we recently had DMA Sales announced a $5.5 million CapEx that's creating 33 jobs in our community. We actually have recently sold the Farm Hub, the old Farm Hub building right there off 501, which will create, I believe it's 12 jobs. Don't quote me on that one. And then we also have another announcement soon to come out at the industrial park. It will be a last mile distribution center. And then we've had numerous solar farms announced and developed as we've seen a huge push from the federal government for that clean energy initiative. So that's, I think there's a lot of exciting things to come, especially around that clean energy stuff.
And you mentioned 12 jobs and 30 jobs. To a big city, that's nothing. But to communities like this, it's everything.
Yes, it's not 12 jobs. It's 12 families that are affected by that. And then you think about the momentum that comes with that, but also the investment that affects, again, the workforce, the infrastructure. It affects all sides, and not just that. Again, those families are spending money in Marion. They are going to our small businesses. They are touching these other, again, it's just that inter-county boom that does come with that. And again, it's more so than just 12 jobs. It is the families that are affected and that are brought to our county and community.
Well, you can certainly see economic developments in good hands with Zach McKay. Zach, thank you so very much. Marion County Economic Development.
Thank you, Dad.
Habitat for Humanity of Horry County looks ahead at 2023. That's coming up next on Inside Out.
HTC is here to connect you to the things that matter most in your life. With the area's largest fiber optic network, HTC is here with the fastest speeds to help power your day. Do a little multitasking. Keep the peace. All to help your day run smoother than ever before. See how HTC is here to connect you to your world and take advantage of these great offers today.
We're We're in Socastee today at Habitat for Humanity of Horry County. Their executive director, their outstanding executive director, is Jason Greene. And Jason, you've been in this position for how long now?
For about 2.5 years.
But this wasn't always your career. You were somewhat up in the air for a while.
Yeah, I worked in construction, and I worked in property management. I worked in the technology field for a while, and then Habitat was my calling, and I decided to make it a career change, and it's been great ever since.
I was referring to you being a pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Up in the air.
That's right. Yeah, so up in the air. Yeah, I was a military pilot in the Marines for about 12.5 years, and certainly this is up there with that in terms of the excitement every single day and helping our community. I really love it.
Well, now, of course, you're on land, working with land and building homes.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that the church program has been wonderful. Tell me about your faith build.
Yeah, our faith build was an idea that our development director, Rachel Kennan, put together to really bring the church community together to help support our families in need. And it's been a really wonderful experience to get to work with new churches and our existing partners as well, our existing church partners, to really come together and to really put God's love into action.
And you do that all the time. You've got many volunteers. I heard that numbers were pretty astronomical around here.
Yeah, so last year alone we had over 600 unique volunteers, well over 10,000 hours of time in the 2022 year alone. So it's really exciting to see the community coming together to really help the families that we serve.
Let's talk about what's new for this year.
Mm-hmm. So our newest program is our maintenance and repair program. We soft launched it last year to really kind of figure out the processes internally, gain some grant funding that we received. But starting in the 2023 year, we're hoping to ramp that up and to really serve more people in need in our community.
So you do that through applying for grants?
Mm-hmm. We apply for grants, we raise money through donations. We also are part of the South Carolina Housing Trust Fund Maintenance and Repair Program, so we can get some state funding to help with some of the repairs as well. So it's a pretty exciting program for us to be a part of, to be able to deliver that here to Horry County.
And you're talking about maintenance on homes in general, not just Habitat-built homes.
That's right. Any family that qualifies for our program, whether it's a home buyer program or a maintenance and repair, the qualifications are similar. But if they fall within the income brackets that we serve and they have a need, which most of our families do, if they do meet those criteria, then they could qualify potentially for a maintenance and repair program, which would offset the cost for some of the major repairs that they may need.
I heard that you've got a program coming up too that's going to try to take Habitat homes and put them in neighborhoods that are kind of different than a typical Habitat neighborhood.
That's right. We're kind of getting away from this notion that we should build all Habitat homes in one particular neighborhood. We've been doing infill, which is vacant lots within community, within Horry County for close to 32 years. We've had a couple of developments that we've done. But with some of the market rate partners that we've been talking to, we hope to develop a mixed income community, which would be our future and part of our longer term strategic plan.
And this is the season for cleaning out our old closets and buying new stuff, and we can do all of that at your Habitat Restore.
That's right. Our store here in Socastee is open Tuesday through Saturday, and we have all those one-of-a-kind items that you may not be able to find anywhere else, but we have so many donations we can hardly keep up with the demand. We have a backlog of about 3 weeks to pick up for those donations, and it's a free pickup, so if you're interested in donating, cleaning out your closets, cleaning out your old garage or whatever you have, just about everything. Except linens and bedding. But outside of that, we'll bring it in and we'll resell it and put it to a good cause. We generally can build about 2 to 3 homes a year based on the revenue we generate from the store.
How wonderful. So come on out and support Habitat for Humanity of Horry County. Thank you, Jason Greene.
Thank you, Diane.
How's this for the beautiful Georgetown waterfront? Friends, thank you so much for joining us. And during this month of love, I wish you much love and happiness. And if you don't have a Valentine, perhaps you need to head to a local animal shelter near you, where you'll find love in abundance. I'll see you next month with another Inside Out.
Inside Out is presented by HTC, here to connect. And Magnolia's at 26th for good old-fashioned Southern comfort food, where Mama eats.